What's happening, YouTube? It's KMega405 live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Now, it is this game right here. I think everybody knows what this game is, but if you don't, this is Battlefront 2. Me, myself, personally think this is an awesome game. This game looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. I like everything about it. To me, it's pretty much, it's like, if you're a fan of Battlefield, especially with the multiplayer aspect of it, it's like Battlefield Light. It's not as intense as any of the Battlefields because, you know, they're trying to go for a more casual audience. But this game is top notch. This is a great game. Now, regardless of what individuals may think about the game and why they got lower ratings and stuff, it wasn't definitely because of the way that this game looks or plays or feels, whatever. It's more so about the loot crates. And look, I am not against anybody that has a problem with not wanting to spend the money to buy the game and not support those type of practices, because I agree with everybody that this has gone too far. But as I stated, and I think I've made myself quite clear on GRG Friday night, that I don't care about how much people spend on their games. That's up to the individual. If they want to go out, which I think is stupid, but for anybody else that want to spend their money and they allow it, fine. As long as they don't change these practices to where I have to pay more to play the particular game for whatever I paid for, I'm cool with that. But regardless of this, there was an article that I read earlier today, and it was quite interesting. It was from GameBolt. I put the link in the description, and it was basically talking about how about we come to a compromise and raise games up to $80 a pop. Now, I agree to some point and to others not so much, because I look at it from, it's according to the individual game. If the gaming universe wants to change and raise up prices for certain games, big budget games like this, $80, I don't see anything too much wrong with it, because if you really look at it, if you buy DLC and all of this and that comes with it, you're going to be paying well over $100 and some for a game as it is. So $80, you take away like the car passes, the DLC or season passes or online passes. You take all those things out, I think that would be appropriate, because these publishers are going to make their money any way that they can. It's really sad that when you look at a game like Final Fantasy 15 that sold well over 10 million copies in the first couple of months, that the expectations were still too low and it was looked at as a fail from those publishers because they had a set number. Is it greed? Some of it is. Is it because of the cost of certain games? That's definitely a part of it. I think it's asinine for some people to come to the conclusion that a $60 price, and they don't put anything in, they don't even think about inflation or the cost of advertising and everything else that goes into it, that the $60 price is all you need, and yet you want the biggest and best game out there and it should be fine. That's not how this works. The industry has changed so much. And as gamers, if we want our hardware to be bigger and better, we're also going to want our games to be bigger and better. It's just a part of gaming. We want everything to progress up. So that means the cost of these games are going to go up as well. So there has to be some kind of solution. Now, we used to get so many smaller type of titles, you know, just we have indies, but then we had a lot more AA type of games, and those games are kind of considered like Nier Automata, Persona 5, ReCore, things like that. And for Persona and not so much for ReCore, but Persona and Nier, they sold well, but those type of games don't gravitate to a larger audience. Neither did ReCore. So the thing of it is that when people want Halo 6, they don't want it to be a AA. When people want Uncharted 4, 5, whatever, God of War, they don't want those games to be considered to be AA. They want those games to go all out. They want to max out the boxes. They want it to be bigger and better, more flashier than the previous version. So for games like that, I can see what the guy in the article was referring to by saying, hey, let the games be $80 and you can try to cut out DLC, a season pass, you know, online passes, things of that nature. But again, they're still going to have to recoup more money. So basically, if you wanted to try to do, you know, some kind of expansion pack, then that should be fine. Still, the way the industry is moving, I think that they can still raise games up to $80 and still charge you for DLC. So I'm trying to figure out, as a gamer, what is your thoughts? What should we do? Because it's going to change for the worse, or it's going to change for the better. It was a good thing that the people spoke out and everybody kind of went after EA for whatever. Even CD Projekt Red, they went after the EA as well, because those type of practices shouldn't be done. You know, and as for me, I'm just like, this game is a really cool game. I'm going to buy it, but I'm not going to participate in spending any extra money than what I've already spent. So what do we do? And look, there's a lot of options to go on, you know, but the $60 value of games, I think that almost might be out the window, because as a lot of gamers is fearing, is like, you know, Microsoft has been kind of saying the stuff about going service based. PlayStation's kind of said that they're going to try to go with being more of a service as well. This is the writing on the wall. This is something that Nintendo went back a long time ago and was trying to say that this isn't good for gaming, which, if you kind of look at it, they're right. And this is why Nintendo is doing what they're doing. They're staying back. While Xbox and Sony, they can't. They have to stay going forward. They got to keep up with the Joneses. And while PC keeps increasing, Xbox is going to have to do the same thing, and so is PlayStation. So it's one of those catch-22s of what kind of games are you looking for? I like big budget games. I like indies. I like all different types of games. But if I had my preference, I want big budget games. And I don't mind paying a little bit extra, but I'm not going to break my bank for just one game. That's the thing. So, like, for instance, with Assassin's Creed, fantastic. Shadow of War, fantastic. Got the DLC and all of that. But I'm not going to pay any extra for that. I think that if a game is over $100, if you pay for that game, Destiny, whatever, I don't care about the cosmetics and they want to bring out little cute shit to make your Guardian look better. If you paid over $100 for that particular game, you shouldn't have to pay anything extra. For Forza 3, the Forza franchise is the best racing franchise out there, hands down. But I was upset about the fact of I still had to pay for those 2 expansion packs, even though they were cheaper, they were decreased, but I still had to pay for them, even though I paid $100 for Forza. For Halo 2, pissed me off that I bought the $90 or $100 version. I think it was $90 version, deluxe edition for that game for Halo Wars 2, but then they come with an expansion in the same year and want to charge $20. And I love Halo Wars. It's fantastic. This whole thing with Atriox and all that is dope. It's just that, like, damn, you gotta, at least you could have brought this expansion next year. I mean, it goes to also with, like, Gravity Rush. We know that game didn't sell worth a damn, but still, less than a year, you're gonna close the online service on it. That's, you know, for sports games that may be out 2 years, they're going to shut down those servers so they can force you to force you to buy the new versions, when gamers are already going to do that in the first place. But there's other gamers out there that can't afford to keep up with the Joneses, and they got to get these older games. So it's kind of sad at the same time. So is gaming going away with the dinosaur? I do not agree with that whatsoever. I feel that as we see with these smaller studios that's been trying to hold afloat because these games cost so much money, that they kind of are reaching out and begging for these big publishers to get them, and sometimes they sell their soul because they want to keep their vision. They want to keep on making fantastic games for the gamers, but these publishers, and that's the big 3 included, they want to recoup their money. So if they go to a service-based system, they can make games cheaper, but how are gamers going to feel about that as well? You see what I'm saying? Like the smart thing of what Xbox and EA has done with EA Access and what Xbox is doing with the Game Pass, and the idea of what Sony was trying to do with their service. The thing of it was that it was greedy to try to charge gamers for games that they could buy in a GameStop or whatever for cheap. They should have had the option to buy to own at a cheaper price, and I think it would have been better. But of course, the streaming service wasn't really a good idea. They're probably going to have to change something up. Don't know, but these games, they look fantastic, they play well, and they're going to cost a lot of money, and they're going to try to recoup it the best way they can. People can look at it as a greed thing, which I do on some cases. Other cases, if it's a game you got $150, $200 million budgets, then, and not including, like I said, the inflation, or including the you know, paying the employees and everything else that's involved into all the red tape. It's hard. And really, again, the $80 price, what was brought up, is going to be maybe okay for gamers in the United States, but we got to think about people in Canada and all over the world that's got to pay even more. Oh, man, it's a tough deal, but I thought this was really interesting to bring up. I think that this discussion needs to keep bringing up because there has to be some kind of solution. Like I said, it's up to the person, the individual, of how much they really want to spend on things. And that's why I said the option should be there. If they're going to make some money, they're going to make some money. But if people want it to be all gone away, then what kind of games are we really going to be expecting coming down the line? And how much will games be if you take away all those options that these publishers are going to try to get? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a weird, crazy situation. But we have to find some kind of solution, because, like I said, gaming is expensive and everything is going to keep increasing. You know what I'm saying? The PlayStation is not going to be $400. PS5 is not going to be $400. You know what I'm saying? And if it does, it's going to be years from now when you see a PS5. The new Xbox is going to probably stay at the $500 price point, because I think $600 is bad for any company. And Nintendo is probably being the smarter one by just saying, look, we don't have to worry about power. We'll just bring our platforms. The only thing Nintendo really needs is games. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. Everybody have a good one. Till the next video. Peace.